All right, so today we're going to be talking about Amazon's new HTML and product description update that is occurring on July 17th, 2021 for the US market, and then June 8th, 2021 for the UK market. Okay, so this is an important update, but it's not something to get worried about. I'm going to show you how to make sure that you are in line with Amazon's new update. It's not going to be a huge deal to you, and then also some of the ramifications of this. So we're here on the official Amazon news update. And as you can see, and I'll just kind of briefly skim through this. So in order to provide security for our customers as well as versatility to list products on non-HTML devices, after July 17th, 2021, again for the US, we will stop supporting the use of HTML tags in the product description on product detail pages. Please refrain from, we discourage any using of HTML content on detail pages. Okay. And then a little bit of text here, and then down here, so that's, stop using HTML in your product descriptions. And then, okay, what happens if we do? Okay, if you do use HTML tags in your product detail pages after July 17th, okay, what will happen is either that line that contains the HTML formatting will be removed and suppressed from search. So if someone goes to look at your description, that line of text that has HTML will be basically invisible. Or depending on how it's formatted, simply the line may be shown without HTML formatting, okay? So one of the two. So it may be fine and actually not really have any negative effect, or it might be suppressed. Either way, you wanna make sure that you remove HTML from your description if you already have HTML there. And if you're kind of wondering, okay, Sumner, what the heck is HTML? What are you talking about? Just as a brief refresher for those who don't know, if you just go to Fiverr or any other kind of service, you'll see these very common gigs where you can basically hire someone, or you could do this yourself, to add HTML to your description. So on the kind of this side here, this is a typical kind of product description that you'll see, and this is kind of what we're gonna revert back to, but basically just a kind of chunk of text. It's kind of ugly, there's not much that you can do to make it look aesthetic, and because of that, it doesn't get as much visibility. Where what you can do, or used to be able to do, is add very basic, simple HTML code that anyone can do. I used to have a video and I've taken it down now on YouTube because of this update. And basically you can kind of bold certain items, italicize certain items, and it makes it look a little bit more aesthetic, a little bit more organized, and ultimately increases conversions because a greater percentage of your customers are going to read through it. So that's what I'm referring to as HTML, is basically code that you put into the Amazon description section when you go and hit publish and view your listing. And when customers look at your listing, they see kind of those updates, the bold, the italics, all that. So now that's being removed, okay? So what does this mean? Pretty straightforward. If you're using HTML tags in your description right now, make sure it's removed by July 17th for the US market, and then also here June 8th for the UK market, okay? And pretty much the exact same update just for both different marketplaces, all right? Now you may be wondering, okay, Sumner, I get that. I'm brand registered and I'm using A+ content. If you're not familiar, this is an example of A+ content. Basically, when you become brand registered on Amazon, you have access to this thing called A+ content, which is essentially a much better looking description. You can have images, and you can actually also use HTML here as well. The difference is with A+ content, if you're using this and you already have access, the HTML there is you're using Amazon's own tools. So you can still use HTML in A+ content as of right now. If that changes, I'll make an update at that point, but it shouldn't be any issue at all. So if you have A+ content, don't worry about this. If you don't know what A+ content is or you're not using it, you're the person that needs to pay attention. You're the one who needs to make the update, okay? So I want to be clear on that. Now part two, this is the second most asked question that I get is, okay, Sumner, I get it, product description, get rid of the HTML. What about our bullet points? For example, there are many sellers, as you can see from this example here, who use a lot of emojis or other types of Unicode to make their bullet points essentially the same reason, to kind of make certain words bold, to make them kind of stand out. And this has been proven to potentially increase conversions depending on your product and category, ultimately make your listing stand out from your competitors, and ultimately make you more money. So yes, it's advantageous, or it has been to this point, to utilize this. However, two things that I'd like you to consider. So number one, Amazon specifically stated this effect will be implemented with product descriptions specifically, so not bullet points. There's nothing about bullet points mentioned. However, using kind of common sense, if Amazon's starting to go after the description section, my guess is the next step will be the bullet point section, okay, or your key product features, right, as it's known in Seller Central. So what I'd recommend that you do, if you are using Unicode or emojis in your bullet points, is to go ahead and remove those as well, just to make sure that you're 100% in line, make sure that there's no issues. That's what I'd recommend if you want to be as risk averse as possible and make sure you're 100% in line with Amazon's new updates. But again, it's completely up to you, and you can read it for yourself. Again, it's Amazon. It's ultimately what Amazon wants versus what Amazon says. So you just have to think, what are Amazon's goals, and then make sure that you're staying in line with their goals. Because if you try to go up against Amazon, not good things are going to happen. I can promise you. So again, not a major update, and this is going to affect all sellers equally. So there are plenty of other ways with your images and your reviews and your customer service and your product itself and packaging and other ways to differentiate and stand out. So, just take that into account as well. This isn't a huge deal. This isn't the end of the world at all. Really, in my view, it's not a big update whatsoever, as long as you kind of abide by it. So I hope you found this helpful. I'll be posting a link to kind of, Amazon's update here in the description section if possible. I'll also be making future, smaller updates about this and other kind of Amazon news in our Amazon Seller Facebook group. It's a free group. If you want to connect with other Amazon sellers like myself and get questions to all of your Amazon FBA queries, link to the Facebook group will also be in the description section and comment section below as well. And if you like the video, let me know, give it a thumbs up. If you have questions or anything that you've discovered that maybe is a new update, feel free to comment here on the video and help out other sellers as well. And then lastly, be sure to subscribe for more Amazon seller and FBA news, case studies, tutorials, updates, all that good stuff, all things to help you succeed as much as humanly possible on Amazon. So hope you found it valuable and look forward to seeing you in the next video.